Welcome back, viewers. Now, days after his grandfather and JDS Supremo HT Devegowda appealed to Prajwal Revanna to return to India and face the sexual harassment probe that rocked Karnataka's politics, JDS Hassan MP Prajwal Revanna has finally broken his silence. In his first video message since the controversy broke out, the JDS scion has issued an apology to his family and the party workers. He assures that he will return to the country, face the SIT, and this is on the 31st of May. Now, in his video message, the under fire MP has labelled the allegation against him as false. He's hinted at a political conspiracy by the Congress to defame him. He went on to add that the Congress's allegations caused him to become depressed as well. Let's listen to what he said.
ಏನು ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ನ ಹಿರಿಯ ನಾಯಕರಾದಂಥ ರಾಹುಲ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರು ಮತ್ತು ಹಾಗೂ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಿರಿಯ ನಾಯಕರುಗಳು ಏನು ಓಪನ್ ವೇದಿಕೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನ ಪ್ರಚಾರ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಒಂದು ರಾಜಕೀಯದ ಪಿತೂರಿ ಮಾಡೋಂಥ ಕೆಲಸನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿದಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಡಿಪ್ರೆಷನ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ಆಯಿತು, ಐಸೋಲೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡೆ. ನಾನೇ ಖುದ್ದಾಗಿ ಶುಕ್ರವಾರ ಏನು 31ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು 10 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ SIT ಮುಖಾಂತರ SIT ಮುಂದೆ ಬಂದು ನಾನು ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಈ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಗೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಸಹಕಾರ ಕೊಡೋ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ನಾನು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸರಿಯಾದ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಉತ್ತರ ಕೊಡುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಹಾಗೆ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಲಯದ ಮೇಲೆ ನನಗೆ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಇದೆ. ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಈ ಒಂದು ಏನು ಸುಳ್ಳಿನ ಪ್ರಕರಣಗಳಿದಾವೆ, ಈ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಪ್ರಕರಣದಿಂದ ಆಚೆ ಬರೋಂಥ ಕೆಲಸನ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಲಯದ ಮುಖಾಂತರನೇ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀನಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ನಂಬಿಕೆ ನನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ. ಹಾಗೂ ದೇವರ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಮತ್ತು ಜನರ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ, ನನ್ನ ಕುಟುಂಬದ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ನನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರಲಿ. ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗ್ಲೂ ನಾನು ಈ 31ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ಶುಕ್ರವಾರ ನಾನು SIT ಮುಂದೆ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ. ಬಂದ ನಂತರ ನಾನು ಇದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಒಂದು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ತಲೆ ಎಳೆಯುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಇರಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಿಮ್ನೆಲ್ಲರನ್ನೂ ಕೋರ್ತಾ ನಾನು ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
Now, viewers, JDS had distanced itself from the Hassan MP ever since the controversy erupted and suspended him as well pending investigation. Now, the latest development has been welcomed by the Congress party, who've been trying to get hold of Prajwal Revanna for the better part of a month, with Home Minister G. Parmeshwara claiming that Revanna will probably be arrested once he returns, since a lookout notice has already been issued.
ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಅರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕಾಗಲೇ ಈಗ ವಾರಂಟ್ ಕೂಡ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಆಗಿದೆ. ವಾರಂಟ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಬ್ಲೂ ಕಾರ್ನರ್ ನೋಟಿಸು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ವಾರಂಟ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಆಗಿ ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಆ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ಅವರೇ ಸರೆಂಡರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ನುವಾಗ ಅದನ್ನು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ SITನವ್ರು ತಗೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ವಿದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗೋ ವಿಚಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ತಪ್ಪಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅವರು, ಆದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಖಂಡಿತ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರೂ ಕೂಡ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ SIT ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಮುಂದಿನ ವಿಚಾರಗಳು ಬೆಳಕಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು.
Now, his family, HT Kumaraswamy, has also welcomed Revanna's apology and promise of returning. He says that, at least he's thought about the party workers now. Let's listen in to Mr. Kumaraswamy.
ಈ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಕರಣಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಹಾಗೆ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು ದೇವೇಗೌಡರು ಮತ್ತು ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ದರೂ ಬಂದು SITಗೆ ಹಾಜರಾಗಿ ತನಿಖೆಗೆ ಸಹಕಾರ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ದೇವೇಗೌಡರು ಎಚ್ಚರಿಕೆಯೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಮನವಿನೂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ ಮತ್ತು ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರಿಗೆ ಗೌರವ ಇದ್ದರೆ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಮನವಿಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗೊಟ್ಟು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಇವತ್ತು ನಮಗೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸಮಾಧಾನ ಇದೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆಗಳೇನಾಗಬೇಕೋ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಮುಂದೆ ತನಿಖೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಸತ್ಯಾಂಶಗಳೇನಿದೆ, ಯಾರ್ಯಾರ ಪಾತ್ರಗಳು ಏನಿದೆ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೊರಗಡೆ SITಯ ತನಿಖೆಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನೋಡೋಣ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ತಂದು ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾನು ನನಗೆ ಕ್ಷಮೆ ಕೇಳಲಿ, ನನ್ನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರ ನೋವು ಸ್ಪಂದಿಸು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರ ಕ್ಷಮೆ ಕೋರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಅವನಿಗೆ ಪಾಪ ಈಗಲಾದರೂ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಮಮತೆ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ತೋರಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನನಗೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸಮಾಧಾನ ಆಗಿದೆ.
SS Sriram, political analyst with us today. Nizam Foujdar, Congress spokesperson. Brinda Adige, activist. PK Jain, former IPS officer. All of them are joining us today to try and understand better as to what happens now. He's decided on his own whims right now that he will appear. Nothing has happened. for the last 1 month, while the Congress has been saying the SIT has been doing its job, we've been hoping that the centre does its job. The centre has been saying, well, the state let him go. There has been a lot of political tug-of-war over this. But as far as Revanna's return now seems to be happening according to his own whims and fancies. Let me take this across first to Mr. Nizam Foujdar. Mr. Foujdar, how do you really look at this right now? The Home Minister himself has said that he welcomes the fact that he wants to appear before the SIT. Now, there's a warrant against him. There's a lookout notice against him. Is he going to be arrested as soon as he reaches the airport? Or is he going to be walking into the SIT office, claiming that, he's the victim here? Because he's saying he's in depression. He says he's being conspired. There's a conspiracy against him. Everything seems to be about him in this video. There's no mention about the women. There's no mention about the tapes. Nothing.
This was a deep conspiracy by the JDS and the BJP. After election, they let him go, and they bring him back, or they're trying to bring him back right after the election is over. It only suggests that the entire system around the BJP and the JDS were protecting this gentleman. I should not call him gentleman. I should call him a monster. He says it's a conspiracy by the Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party and so on and so forth. Did he assault the women sexually because he was trying to help Congress party? What nonsense is this? He is going to be arrested. He's not doing any favor by coming into the country and surrendering. Is surrender a favor to the nation? Is a surrender favor to the women?
That's what his statement seems like. It seems like he's doing a favor to the SIT and to his family.
Unko aane do, let him come down here. He will have to face the music of the law, and the law is well established, and he will have to face the music there. He has to answer how did he assault so many women. It could be blackmailing, it could be the rape, it could be so many such charges which are prominently against him. And how can anybody? I'm seeing a lot of BJP people and the JDS people are saying that oh my God, he's coming back to do a favor to this country. What is this? Are these people playing with the law? Are the people living playing with the lives of the women? Those women are not able to even face the society today. And he says he's coming back to help the SIT. He has to go in the jail and he has to spend the rest of his life there. And there is no other option. There is no other alternative. 1 month.
But do you feel, Mr. Foujdar, somewhere he's been able to dictate the terms here? Do you feel that the Congress could have pushed it a little harder, done a little more here to get hold of him?
No,
because he seems to be dictating when he goes, when he comes, when he appears before the SIT.
Let him come, then our Karnataka law and the police will basically do whatever it needs to be done. But let me ask Mr. Prajwal and the ecosystem that he's saved by, how did he travel from Germany to London? Why didn't they issue a red corner notice to the Interpol? He should have been arrested in the exit of the Germany, or he should have been arrested in the entry of the London. Why didn't they do it? Why was BJP protecting? Why is the Prime Minister protecting him?
But
he knew it. If I would have said Mr. Prime Minister Modi was not concerned with this, if he didn't know. The BJP leaders had alerted the BJP ecosystem and the party that this man has gone. He's basically a predator in terms of assaulting women, and they still give him a ticket and do a super level of campaign for him. And today they're saying it's a conspiracy by the Congress party. Everything that the BJP does, which is wrong to the society and to the nation, they blame it on the Congress party. Did he rape asking the Congress party? Did he blackmail the women with the behest or with the consent of the Congress party? What is this? What is BJP trying to do here? Why should they even protect this man? Look at the way.
Mr. Sriram, would you want to respond to Mr. Foujdar, who says that it seems like the BJP is shielding Prajwal and that's the reason he's been able to get away from the law for so long?
The Congress always looks for a reason to blame BJP. I mean, it's their failure because it's a law and order is the state subject. What were they doing by letting them slip off? And who is in the power? Who is in the state? I don't want it to be a blame game out here because it is unfortunate. It's something that has happened very nastily, and this man should never be spared for it. I'm sure the central government or the BJP is not here to protect this gentleman. Here is a pure failure of the state government to pick this gentleman or so-called accused person at the moment today. So for them to nail him down, and for everything you like childish, you keep blaming the Prime Minister, you keep blaming BJP. It's so childish. You are there in power. Karnataka is what was the Home Minister doing? What was the intelligence doing? How long did you know about all these happenings since you are in power for the last 4 or 5 months? What were your intelligence doing? So you have to have that salt in you to take up the blame. Yes, we also slipped. It's just by blaming another party, blaming the central government.
If we are talking about intelligence here, Mr. Sriram, if we are talking about what the Congress intelligence has been doing about these videos, about the crimes that he is allegedly committed, the question can be asked to the BJP as well.
Absolutely.
They've been in power for 4 years just before the Congress party, and these videos don't just date back to this year, last year, or a year before that. They're saying that this has been happening for years together.
I'm sure I can tell you for one thing, you can't, BJP would have never been shielding the gentleman for the 4 years, despite the fact that they were in power. While I agree that they were in power, but doesn't mean they are the know of it and they are trying to shield him. It's never going to be that way. And now, who is the person who's holding the power today in Karnataka is Congress. The least that they should do is, they cannot be pinpointing or blame game here. Ensure that the person is brought to books, brought to justice, and let this be a clear warning to all such political sons in the country, no matter whichever party they belong to, will never ever dare to do this. I think if someone speaks on those lines, I fully appreciate coming and sitting here, keep blaming BJP and saying that they are covering this person. I don't take that at all.
The blame game is going to continue, Mr. Sriram. The political blame game is only going to intensify after he comes as well. That much we are sure of. But one thing, viewers, you all should know, this video, which is over 2 minutes in length that this individual has put out, has no mention of the women, the victim, the trauma that they have been through. But we'll, of course, try and decipher the reason behind that as well. I'll have to slip into a quick break. Brinda, I'm coming to you right across. Stay with us.
In association with new Taigun GT line, style to wander.
Presenting the new fully loaded Seltos HDK Plus. Tech is now badass.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Listen, there's a good insurance policy.
A good insurance policy. Let's ask AI. A policy in which premium payment is limited but provides income for lifetime.
LIC Jeevan Utsav.
A policy with whole life insurance cover also.
LIC's Jeevan Utsav.
Wow! Let's buy. LIC's Jeevan Utsav policy is our best choice.
Even I was telling you the same. LIC's Jeevan Utsav.
Lifetime celebration. With LIC's Jeevan Utsav, your future is set.
The batters all padded up, displaying magical footwork and balance, ready for any toe crusher. Wow, now that's a 5-star defense. It's the champion of champions, the feature-loaded Nexon, India's #1 SUV for 3 years in a row. Price starts at 7.99 lakhs.
आतंकवाद नक्सलवाद पर होता रहेगा कड़ा प्रहार, ये है मोदी की गारंटी।
कल चाहे जो भी हो, मेरी फैमिली का फ्यूचर हमेशा सुरक्षित रहेगा। अच्छा लगता है ना जब आप किसी पे इस तरह भरोसा कर सकते हो।
ICICI Prudential Life Insurance, जिम्मेदारी लगे प्यारी।
Welcome back, viewers. We are discussing Prajwal Revanna's return. He says 31st is the date he'll appear, 10 a.m. is when he'll appear. He's set all of those things for himself. It's as if this man is going to proudly walk into the SIT, claim complete innocence, says that it's an entire political conspiracy through this entire video that he's put out. Not once does he mention the women. Several of them have had to flee their homes, their entire areas because of the humiliation that they've been suffering. Does not say anything, Brinda. When we look at an individual like this, do you feel that, what the government has been doing, the SIT has been doing is enough in terms of collection of evidence? Because he seems to be pretty confident at this moment.
Absolutely right, Deepak. But I also have to place over here on record that both the state government and the union government are liable and must be held accountable for various lapses at different stages, and that they cannot absolve themselves of this. That said, look at the video, listen to that man. He is doing everything which is a big drama. He talks about his grandfather, forgiveness from his father and his party workers. Not a word. There is no remorse on his face, but not a word about the victims and the families who are still suffering because they are still intimidated and threatened by this man and his family in Hassan and elsewhere. Many of them have gone out from that place because the owners have told them to go out, their jobs are at stake. But who is this fellow to issue this kind of a video? Is 31st May an auspicious day for him? Somebody gave him permission to give 31st May that he will come over here. And who is he doing a favor to? Why are they making a mockery of not just the laws, but also insulting the citizens who pay for him? He's a paid public servant. He's making a mockery of the laws, of the state government, of SIT, and all of us citizens also. He's humiliating all the victims and their families who are continuing to be traumatized because all his lawyers might have fixed up everything. And like it was mentioned in another program, he comes on the last day of voting. So everything has been, the platform has been set. Yeah. And somebody was talking about the state intelligence and other intelligence. I want to ask, everybody had intelligence. Why was somewhere our Prime Minister also encouraging that vote must be given to this man? Your intelligence should be as strong also. So everybody must take the blame for allowing this sexual predator to become a fugitive, enjoy all of these 30 days out somewhere. And like you mentioned, somewhere in London from Germany. Why was a red corner notice not issued? Why is his passport not cancelled? Why did the court not give this kind of a direction? So let us place on record that all these people are supporting this man. The victims and the families are suffering the most. And that is what we want to hold all of you accountable for.
Absolutely. And while, of course, everyone has been trying to gain something politically from it, they have forgotten that they could have done their best or probably done much better. Instead of having this man dictate his own terms of leaving the country, returning to the country, appearing for questioning, claiming innocence, he should have been dragged and, questioned. And, the evidence that has been collected or that should have been collected should have been done while he was not enjoying the comfort of living in another country and dictating terms. Mr. PK Jain, where do you think at this point in time the situation really lies? As far as the state is concerned, they are saying they're welcoming the fact that he wants to return. You have BJP leaders, the JDS leaders are also saying that we welcome the fact that he is returning. It's almost that they're celebrating the fact that, well, we don't have to do anything now. He's returning on his own.
Deepak, thanks a lot for inviting me here. I would only like to state that he is a crook, he is a monster, and the state government is solely responsible for his departure and making a very delayed effort after having milked the issue for political gains. They should have sent out the request to the government of India much earlier in point of time. The External Affairs Minister is on record to say that the request was received on 21st of May. And 23rd of May, they have already started action on that. So now why wait all these days? I mean, if we say that the guy is out for the last 30 days, why was he given such a long rope? This request should have gone out to the government of India much earlier in point of time to cancel his diplomatic passport, to issue a red corner notice against him. And this fellow also knows that this is the end of the road for him, because once a red corner notice is issued, his diplomatic passport is revoked, he has to come back, because wherever he is, he will be detained and he'll be brought back. So now he's only trying to make a mockery of the system, but he's an accused. He will take whatever defense he wants to take. He will say whatever he wants to say. He will, and it is the last resort of all these scoundrels, political scoundrels, who will say that I'm being victimized by the other party. Now he's from the BJP, he'll victim shame the Congress. But the fact remains that he's a criminal. He should be treated like a criminal. The moment he lands in India at any airport, he will be taken into custody, because a lookout notice has been issued against him, and he will be handed over. His custody will be handed over to the investigating
Mr. PK Jain, you've been an IPS officer yourself. You know, there are internal reports, of course, that officers as well, give political parties. The intelligence submits reports. Now, while a lot is being said, yes, now the state government, while he left the country, if they had a whiff that there was going to be an FIR or this video is in circulation, could have prevented him from leaving. I do not disagree or debate. And today the Home Minister himself is on record saying that there was no case against him. So the centre's involvement of him in trying to prevent him from leaving the country does not arise at all. And he had a diplomatic passport too. The question here is, could the centre have done a little more to bring him back, used at their own pace? Of course, you did mention that 21st is when the External Affairs Minister said the actual request, formal request went in. The Chief Minister has also written letters. There could have been intimation from the PMO saying that, well, we are not the ones who can do something like this. You could probably go through the right channels. There was no communication at all. So it seemed like the centre didn't do enough. More importantly, the fact of the matter that I want to come to, when I initially asked you this question about you being a cop and how the information is given from the police officers, there was a stay order that Mr. Revanna brings in 2023. This was over alleged videos. Then there was another BJP leader who claims he's written a letter to the BJP top brass. BJP that takes so much pride in saying that we do a thorough check of our candidates, whether they can win or not. This aspect could have come up in those discussions, don't you think? They still managed to give him a ticket once again.
It must have come up. It must have come up. A person who's of this kind of a character, a loose character like this, certainly would have come to the notice of many.
Isn't this something to worry about, that the BJP still went ahead and gave him a ticket for whatever compulsions they had?
There was no need to patronize a criminal, a crook like him. I mean, he is a person who should be incarcerated in a jail for the rest of his life, what he has done to the lives of so many women. What I'm only trying to say is the legal process. The legal process is that unless the state government initiates, the government of India cannot take any action. If there was no FIR against him, they could not have stopped him at the airport. If there was no request from the state government, the red corner notice cannot be issued. The process has to be gone through. As a police officer, it is not my call. It is everybody. Every senior officer knows in the state and in the country what has to be done in the case like this. The request to the court to impound his assets, to declare him as
so what happens, Mr. Jain, very quickly, I have about 20 seconds. What happens when he arrives with a lookout circular, with an arrest warrant, with a blue corner notice, all of this against him? What happens as soon as he reaches anywhere in the country, any airport?
Deepak, he will be detained at the airport, and then he will be handed over to the investigating officer. The procedure is very clear. There is no arrest at the airport. They only detain him, and they detain him till the time the investigating officer or the investigating agency comes and takes custody of this man. And then the law will follow. He will be produced in the court after 24 hours or within 24 hours, whatever is the within 24 hours. And then the law takes its own course.
Of course, so the courts will decide. The courts will decide eventually about what this man has done. There are allegations very serious in nature. There are videos very serious in nature. And if you go by the reactions that have come in from his own family, it looks like, yes, there are these videos that have been shot by this individual. Now, whether he will walk with his head held up high into the SIT office on the 31st, or whether he'll be detained like Mr. Jain was pointing out in the airport, this remains to be seen. And more importantly, let's hope that an apology comes in to the thousands or hundreds or how many other women have felt humiliated, like Brinda Adige was pointing out, probably have been asked to leave their jobs, they have to leave their homes, and so much suffering that they've gone through. Let's hope that this individual has the guts to make a video for them as well. With that, I'm slipping into a quick break, thanking all our panelists for joining us today.